What's going on, guys? Yo, today in this video, I'm going to talk to you about something very serious that we both need to talk about right now, today. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you one tip that's going to help you tremendously. It's a rule that I'm implementing in my own trading strategy, and I think you should consider looking at it, possibly implementing itself or some sort of variant of it. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, guys, as we jump into this video, do me one quick favor. Smash that like button for me. It really helps out tremendously. And check out the link in the description section below to Apex. 80% off for the life of your account going on right now. That will end on July 31st. And you need to take advantage of it because who doesn't like 80% off? That's almost free. So make sure you check that out there. The code is down there so you can use it and get your 80% off on the life of your evaluation account over at Apex. Now let's go ahead and jump into this video. Guys, here are my stats for today. Today is July 11th. I went ahead today and had a decent little day, nothing huge. What is it, $758 on the day. That's across 4 accounts because I am using Copy Trader. So that's across 4 evaluation accounts. By the time I'm done with this, I should have 6 evaluations completely passed. I already have 2 funded accounts. So if I pass, well, not if, when I pass these 4s, I'll have 6 total. Now, today's P&L to me is not a big deal. It's really almost like a scratch day. It's less than a base hit, to be fully honest with you. But that's because the market conditions are rather choppy today. Now I want to go ahead and show you the chart real quick here. Yes, I know it's the SPY chart, not the ES, and that's perfectly fine because I just want to show you what the action was early on in the morning. Okay, early on this morning, we had this little gap up, push straight up, and then bang, got slammed down all the way down here, and we hit yesterday's close area, and that's where we started to bounce off of. Now, there was some issues with Trade-of-8, let me tell you, because I was short throughout this move, and I was up extremely nice, and there was some lags going on with Trade-of-8. By the time I exited the position, or whatever, I got my fills, I was actually down on the day. I think it was $20. I was like, what? I'm supposed to be up 2,000. I don't know what happened there, but that's some Trade-of-8 stuff. And I mean, we were talking in the Discords. It was happening to other members as well. So it wasn't like a me thing. It was a Trade-of-8 thing. I don't know what the deal was. I'll check social media later today and see if there was any sort of release, press release, you know, news from Trade-of-8 talking about it. Regardless of the fact, I did try a long up here at one point, didn't work out, went short and it worked out beautifully. Didn't get to get anything out of it because of the Trade-of-8 fiasco. Okay, and then here on this little bounce back, little bear flag formation, I did end up getting short. And, you know, it was very, very choppy. I mean, I held throughout this action here, and then I took some profits off on this dump. And then we got this quick little wick back to the upside, and I exited the rest of my position. I only got a fill on a nice profit on a quarter of my position. 75% of it got stopped out at break even here, which, you know, in hindsight was a bit of a overreaction on my part. Possibly I should have just held on to it. But since we were so choppy, I thought to myself, well, you know, maybe we're just going to bounce right back up to the highs, which we did a little bit later. So it was a lot of chop this morning. It wasn't very clean. I mean, look, even here we stalled out, nasty candle to the downside, and then just looking like a penny stock straight up here, like an OTC. So it was just really, really weird action. And imagine, how many times have you been chopped up? We need to talk about this because it's a serious topic. How many times have you been chopped up where you're up 500 bucks on the day and all of a sudden you're down $500 on the day, and then all of a sudden you're only down 150 bucks on the day, and you're like, nah, I'll trade again, and all of a sudden you're up 75 bucks on the day. And you're like, wow, I was down 500. Now I'm up $75. It's like the day is fresh. Let me continue trading. You know it's choppy. You know you're getting chopped up, and you continue trading. And all of a sudden, your next trade, you're down 300. Then you're down another 300. And all of a sudden, now you're down 600-700 bucks on the day. And you're like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? Right? We've all been there. We've all sat at our trade station, and we've all committed the same mistake, okay, of trading throughout chop, getting back to a break-even standpoint, and then getting absolutely demolished off of it again because it's choppy and we refuse to be wrong. We refuse to not make money on the day. But just because you're a day trader doesn't mean you have to trade every single day. That's what we need to talk about today, and I'm going to share with you here the new rule that I'm implementing that's going to help me stay away from that. What I want to talk about here is that even though during today's weirdness, my average winning trade time was 5 minutes, my average losing trade time was 3 minutes, my longest winning trade time was 15 minutes. My longest winning trade time was 15 minutes as well. But obviously the winners outpaced the losers, so it's all good. And you know, I had a 64% accuracy today. So okay, right? It's okay. Stats for the day were green, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. Now, if I fall back to this week, which obviously started yesterday, today is Tuesday, I'm up nearly $5,000 with an accuracy of 70%. So these accounts are almost done. Winning trades, holding them for 4 minutes, 36 seconds. Average losing, 2 minutes, 39 seconds. Very good. Our largest winning trade time, 15 minutes, 56 seconds. Longest losing trade time, 15 minutes, 40 seconds. I mean, you can see here everything. You see right here, bang, you got a little wheel of telltale. And you come on down here, you see my cumulative, you see my P&L on time of day. But some of my biggest wins were yesterday, and that was actually after 10 a.m. That's what I'm saying, guys. The stats are good, they're sound, but there's been a problem this week. And that problem has been chop. The early on chop has been horrendous. And I've come to the conclusion that I need to set in place a new rule. Because when I was a brand new trader, one of my kryptonites was FOMO. I never had a problem holding on to losers. I always cut losers. I've always cut losers ever since I was a itty bitty young trader. But I always struggled with FOMO. FOMO is not something I struggle with these days. Psychologically, I've been able to implement awesome rules that I've shared throughout my courses, that I've shared in videos, that I've shared in lives, that I've shared in one-on-ones with students. So psychologically, FOMO is not an issue for me anymore. However, getting chopped up is still an issue for me. It's an issue that I've struggled with because even when I recognize the chop, a lot of times I still manage to get chopped up on the day. And it sucks because when I do get chopped up, the losses generally start to compound negatively. And that's not a good thing. We're talking about I'll give back 2 days profit in one choppy session. And I do not like that. That is a terrible thing to do. Even with my max loss rule in place, the choppiness will still get to me. And then psychologically, it's just a huge mess because you'll go from being up a little bit to being down a little bit to being back at break even. And then you'll see it move in the direction that you wanted, kind of like today where I would have gotten that downside move there. That, let me tell you something, it would have automatically at that point, if I would have gotten that fill to the downside, it would have finished these accounts for me. But I could have easily fallen victim to the chop there and hopped back into that trade, and then I would have been stopped out. I would have lost the $700 and $800, whatever it is I made today. I would have lost that, and I would have been mad. And who knows what could have happened, because once you start getting mad, the emotions start to take place. So I'm implementing a new rule, and that's the rule I want to talk to you guys about. I'm going to go ahead, and when I see that it's choppy, whether I'm small red, break even, no trades, small green, once I recognize after a couple of trades that it's choppiness, it's not me, it's choppiness in the market, I'm going to cut it. I'm out. I'm out for the morning. I'm out for the day possibly. I'm done. It doesn't matter if I'm red, if I'm green, if I'm break even. If I smell the choppiness, if I can diagnose the symptoms of that choppiness, I'm going to stop trading because far too many times that's been an issue for me. It's just like when I told you, if I trade before 9:45, for the most part, you've seen it in my stats, I'm red. When I take that out of the equation, I'm a solid green. And now I'm a consistently profitable trader, but nonetheless, there's always room for improvements and growth. So I don't do that. I cut it out as much as possible. I have not taken a trade before 9:45 now for probably a week or two, since whenever it was the last time I showed you those stats. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to look at the environment, and if I see that it's choppy, I'm gonna go ahead and regardless of what my P&L on the day says, I'm gonna cut it right there and then wait for better weather where I could trade more comfortably. Because look, today, yes, I'm green, but just as easy as I'm green 700, 800 bucks, whatever it is, I could be red 700 or 800 bucks. And then mentally you're like, oh no, I'm still within my risk tolerance, so I can continue trading. And then all of a sudden you go from 700, 800 bucks red to $1,600 red. And you're like, well, damn, man, would have been better off with $800 red. I could have easily made that back in one trade. Now 1,600 bucks, it might take 2 trades to make it back, possibly, depending on the day's action. So that's the rule, guys. That's what I'm going to start implementing here. Today was day 1 of implementing that rule. I actually talked to my buddy yesterday, my business partner here, Jonal, and I told him yesterday, I was like, guys, I'm going to start implementing that rule. And today was the first day, and there's no one to hold me accountable to whether or not I'm holding myself to that rule, only myself. So today, there it is. I smelled the chop. I stopped trading right then and there, and I called it a morning. I called it a day for myself, and that's it. Tomorrow we got CPI, so it's all good. We'll wait for tomorrow. We should have continuation in one direction or another, some sort of clean action after we get that economical data to come out tomorrow. That's it for me today, guys. Any questions about my rule? Any questions about anything related to trading, just drop it in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'll catch you on another one. Peace.